In a previous video, you may have seen me install the kicker system 194-17166 in a 2020 GMC Sierra. I wanted to put that same system in this, which is a 22 Chevy Silverado. I was told it would not work in my truck, but I decided to buy it anyways. This video isn't a complete walkthrough. If you want to understand how to install the full system, go watch the other video. Come back here for some tips and tricks, because I discovered some other ways to make it easier to install the system. One thing I did notice in my previous video, some of you have commented that you had some issues with the door chimes and turn signals not working after you got it installed. Not that they didn't work, you just didn't hear them in the system anymore. I wasn't sure what that was all about, but I found out when I installed that system in this truck. And at the end of the video, I'll show you how to solve that problem. So stay tuned, catch the tips and tricks on this one, and if you want the complete walkthrough, go check out the 2020 install. Thanks. Welcome back yet again. So I'm going to put that kicker system into the truck, into this one, like I had in the previous GMC. This one I won't be doing a detailed step. If you want, I'll add a link to that one. You can walk through it. This one, however, I have had a lot of questions and comments on the previous installation about the kit, and I'll give you the kit number. This one ends in 766, and it has the 2 amps that come with it. There's an amp on this one right there on the subwoofer, and then there's another one that goes in on the back wall that has DSP, and it's 200 watt amp to power the rest of the speakers. So I'm going to cover installation of that into this truck. However, when I went to order it, they said it wouldn't fit in my truck based on the VIN code, which is down here. If you scan that, it will tell you what radio you have, either an IOR, iOS, or an IoT. This truck has an iOS, and this system is supposed to go in an iOS equipped truck. However, they said my VIN isn't covered by that. One of the things that I've noticed in getting ready to install this is on the back wall, there's only 1 stud, whereas the other one had 3. So I'll have to adjust my installation based on that. But I'm also going to still try putting in that amp. And I think maybe what could possibly be the difference is in the other trucks before the chip shortage, they had HD radio, whereas this one doesn't have HD radio because of the chip shortage. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with why they say it won't fit in this truck. Otherwise, I'm just going to walk through it and show you if I run into any issues, and where I will be placing the kicker knob in this truck. I chatted about with a bunch of people about that in the comments on the previous one. I will show you how to install it, where to install it, or where I install it anyways in this truck. So hang on, this one isn't going to be as long or as detailed as the previous one, but should answer a few questions. Okay, so tip number 1 in getting the wires through the firewall, at least on the Duramax, is to remove the battery. Once you do that, then you have access to that port, which is right there, which makes it a whole lot easier than trying to fish your way around the battery. So there's tip number 1. So if you have the floor mat that is covered, you'll need to cut it something like this to allow the speaker box to be installed and still be able to get this one out. Next thing is on the back side of this amp, there's a plug with dip switches. They come factory set. I reset mine where all are up and 6 is down. And then I've been asked where you plug in the kicker volume knob. And it's on the amp here where this little plug is. I'm going to do that now, so I'm going to leave this out. But it plugs in there just like a little headphone jack. Okay, so I've routed the kicker knob wire, which is part 46CX-ARCT. I've routed that up. I'll eventually zip tie it here, but this is the knob. It has some adjustment where you can, slide it left or right, depending on how you want this faced. But that gives you an idea of where I put it. So there's the hood release, and there's a little flat spot right there that works pretty good. So I'll route this back up under here and zip tie it all in so that it's in good shape. But the excess I'll zip tie in a bundle in the back. That way I don't have this extra wire up here in the front. I think it may have caused a rattle in the last truck, but this way I'll have all the extra bundled in the back. Okay, so when you go to put the amp, at least on mine, like I had said, it's missing the 2 studs on top. It has the one on the bottom to help locate it. The kit does come with 2 sheet metal screws, so I'm going to use those to install the top here. I'm assuming that's what it's for. Everything else plugged right in, so we'll wrap this up and then throw the fuses in and give her a check. I fired it up, and let's see if we can get some music. Get started right now at it definitely works. So this is in a half-ton 22 Chevy Silverado, and it works. So I would say don't let them tell you it won't, because it does. Thanks for watching. All right, as an update in this jumbled mess of wires up here, after I installed it, and I've noticed that this has happened with a few folks, at least I've had notice or notes or comments that they lost the chimes and turn signals. So I did too. I lost the chimes and turn signals. But as a way of fixing it, I was able to add load resistors on the plug, on the gray plug. Let's pull this guy out of the way, maybe we can see it a little better. On the gray plug up there, let's see if I can zoom in. So that gray plug that goes into the ACM, I added resistors across the white with from the white to the white with black stripe, and from the blue with, or sorry, gray with a black stripe on it. And once you, let's see if I can get to where that guy's at. Let's zoom out here a little bit. There we go. So on that gray plug, you're basically running a load resistor across the white wires and the gray wires. And when you do that, you can get your turn signals to work again. So there's the update in the 2022 Chevy or GMC Sierra if you're trying to put the kicker system in. Thanks.